Three pros and cons of choosing to work with a startup as your first technology job. Well, let's start with the pros. You will get a much more varied experience. You will get your hands on many more projects, many more different types of projects, and have the opportunity to segue into other roles in the business. And even if not officially go into other roles, by the time you leave the business, you'll probably have a much broader education in the roles that sit alongside your own. Number two, you will get to work, it's almost a guarantee you will get to work with senior management in the business. In startups, everyone is involved in everything, and no matter how senior you are, you will chip in on projects. You won't just delegate it. I mean, you'll delegate, but you'll delegate whilst also doing it yourself. And I would say number three is, although to begin with you'll probably earn less money, in the long run, people who stick to startups, especially in the early stages of the career, once they start to hit that 5-year mark, in my experience anyway, they're earning a lot more than their contemporaries who work for, say, big multinationals or just more established businesses. That kind of switches around again once you hit the 10-year mark, but well, you have to get to 5 years first. Reasons against, you really need to be able to deal with stress. In a startup, everybody counts, and when you're junior, there's going to be lots of times where you just don't know what you're doing, where you get really stuck, and you're going to feel that pressure even more when you know everyone around you is sort of counting on you, and you won't have the support structures in place that you would have in a larger organization. So your personality really is the determining factor, I would say, in fact, about whether or not you should choose to work in a startup. Another reason against, you will probably have, although one of the reasons for is you get to work with senior management much more and you get exposure to them, you'll probably have much less specialists in your own exact discipline. So your development will be really broad and really comprehensive in a way, in the broader sense, but your specific skill may suffer. You may pick up some bad habits because you're going to be left to your own devices a lot to figure things out. Another reason against, you will probably have really crappy benefits. Benefits in startups, especially in the early days, are minimal. You will have the bare amount of holidays, you will have probably no healthcare, you will have no perks. The coffee machine probably, you might be asked to put 50p or 50 cents into a jar every time you take a cup of coffee. So if those sorts of things are important to you, especially in the early days of your career, I would say stay away from the startup. For this and more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tech Herds.